Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to replace the battery on this late 2016 13-inch MacBook Pro model A1708. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is use a P5 or Pentalobe 1.2 screwdriver to remove all the screws from the bottom. We'll also need a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove the Pentalobe screws. You want to keep all the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and length. The way I do that, put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So on this model, you have this U-shaped pattern here. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove all those screws. If this video helps you out, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, let's go ahead and continue removing all these screws. I don't know why this one screw here is stuck. That's really weird. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Alright, I don't know if they tried removing the screw before and damaged it because it really doesn't want to come out. Alright, so we got those out. This one for some reason doesn't want to come out. I don't know if I'm going to have to use strong magnet or what to remove it. Let me see if I can get my fingernail or something underneath there and continue unscrewing it. Doesn't want to come out. Let's try a magnet. Still doesn't want to come out. Yeah, I don't know why this screw's stuck. Hopefully we'll still be able to remove the bottom cover. We're going to use a suction cup. You can also use tape. We're basically going to just use it to lift the cover up slightly here. Okay, so once we lift it up slightly, we're going to get underneath using some pry tools, or I use my fingernails, okay? And what I do is I go along the side and then I push down with my thumb here and lift up this cover with my other fingers. There we go. Here you can hear it click. All right, we're going to continue going along this side. Let's try and unscrew this while we're pulling up the cover, and there we go. I don't know why it was stuck there. Okay, so we're going to continue going along. If you're wondering, the middle screws are the shortest. The other screws here are slightly longer, and then the ones at the back towards the hinges are the longest. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue and pop that. There we go. Once you unclip those two sides, the middle clip should already unclip themselves. If not, you can go ahead and pull up on the center more. Now we're going to get in between here. I'm just going along the cover and I'm grabbing it like that. I'm using my fingernails along the edge so that way it doesn't scrape my hand. And we're going to pull down here. I'm going to use my finger to push down here and keep my other fingers over so the thing doesn't fall over. All right, let's go ahead and pull it, and there we go. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Should come out easier now that the other's out, and there we go. All right, and now we got the bottom cover off. It is pretty dusty, so I'm going to clean it up first, and then we're going to continue with removing the stuff. I'm going to try another method just to see if it'll work. Normally what I do is I use this tool to get underneath and scrape the adhesive out, and a lot of people have been telling me or have been suggesting to use like fishing line or dental floss and things like that. So we'll try that method. I tried one time and it was hurting my hands and it didn't seem like it was much easier, but I'll do that because most people will have dental floss on hand, and we'll see if that will help. All right, so anyways, here you can see the bottom cover. I'm going to clean this up and I'll be back. See you guys in a bit. All right, I'm back. So we cleaned out the dust here and we got some floss, so we're going to try this. All right, this isn't sponsored, but we got some of the expensive floss, and then we have some really old version of the basically same floss. I think yeah, they're both Oral-B. Okay, anyways, this one's really old, so it's not as strong. We're going to try that first. Anyways, we're just going to get a bunch of it. Okay, so we're going to get enough that we can kind of pull it through this way. If this works, you probably won't have to remove the trackpad first. So let's go ahead and see. I'm not sure how people kind of tuck it underneath here. I guess maybe you can kind of start with a tool, something like this. Okay, and then, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how people get the floss under there, because that's the tricky part. That's what I was kind of confused on, but I guess there's a way. All right, maybe we'll just poke it down in there like that. All right, okay, that got underneath one corner. You can see. All right, we want to get both sides under. I didn't watch a video on how to do it this way, but I did hear people talking about it, so let's see. We're going to try. All right. I want to try and get it underneath both sides here. See, I don't know. The hard part is getting it underneath both sides, I think. Come on. It might help to have someone help with this, like while you're holding something to guide it underneath. Okay, there we go. I think we got both sides under. All right. So then people just like wrap it around, I guess, and then pull on this. All right. You can probably even use it to slice by like doing it back and forth. And then to protect your hands, because you don't want to hurt yourself, you can wrap it around something. But one thing I forgot to mention, we're going to go ahead and disconnect the battery first. So let's zoom in. All right. And let's go ahead and peel this up. I want to carefully, slowly peel this because there's adhesive underneath. Here you go. If it pulls up this plastic piece underneath, you want to be careful that you don't rip this cable out, okay? So let's go ahead and lift this, and I'll show you what I mean. All right, once we get that tab back, we're going to flip this latch up, just like that. Then we're going to grab underneath here and pull that back. So sometimes it will peel up this plastic layer here, and then it will be trapped between this piece and that, and it will be like attached. So you can actually just move the whole thing around like this, but yeah, don't be careful not to tear this cable. All right, so there we go. We disconnected part of the battery. We're also going to remove this screw. That's a T5 or Torx 5 screw, so we're going to go ahead and remove that. All right, there we go. Once we've removed that screw, we're going to lift this tab up, okay? Because if you don't, then the battery will still be connected. So we flip that up, and you can see now the battery is staying, the battery tab is staying detached. Right, now what we're going to do, we're going to open up the computer, and then we're going to press and hold the power button for 15 seconds. This will drain any residual power and will make it a lot safer to work on. A lot of people ask me if they have to do it. It only takes 15 seconds and makes it much, much, much safer to work on. So take those 15 seconds and yeah, do it anyways. All right, good. We'll close this up. We're going to now remove these two screws so that we can remove the battery later. All right, so there's one screw here. We are also going to have to transfer over that little cable. So let's actually remove this as well. So we'll pull this cable back. We'll flip this latch up just like the other one. Once you do that, you can kind of wiggle and pull that connector out just like that. Okay. All right, so we'll set that aside. Let's go ahead and remove this one. This has a little water moisture detection sticker. I'm going to use a little flathead screwdriver and see if I can scrape that off so I can put it on the new one. Actually, it's just on the screw, so it's not technically on the battery itself. So we just have to kind of move it out of the way so that we can take the screw out. Okay, come on, move over. It's probably just going to get damaged, but there we go. All right, now we can go ahead and take the screw out. Just like that. Now we got all the screws out we need to remove. Let's go ahead and work on removing the adhesive. Oh, one other thing, we do have to remove the trackpad connector here. Again, if you aren't using this string method and you're scraping underneath here, you will want to actually remove the trackpad. I have a video showing how to remove the trackpad completely. So if you want to find that video, just let me know and I'll try and guide you to that. All right, anyways, we got that. We're going to remove this. And let's go ahead now and remove this connector. So we're going to go underneath and then go on the corners. All right, and just pop this up. This cable is pretty fragile, so you want to be very careful with it. If you damage this or the trackpad underneath, your trackpad and your keyboard won't work. So keep that in mind. Apple's kind of being sneaky, and they made it so if the trackpad dies, it disables the keyboard, even though it's not even connected. All right, anyways, we're going to grab this and we're going to slowly peel this up. You don't want to fold it backwards, so I'm pulling it this way as I kind of lift it up to try and keep this cable flat. All right, then you want to keep your finger here so that way you don't accidentally tear the cable up or tear it out once you get to the end. Okay, just like that. And now the trackpad cable is out of the way. Okay, we're going to turn this around again and we're going to continue with the floss. I'm just going to wrap it around this toothbrush here that I used to clean the dust off. And then I guess we can also wrap it around the screwdriver, whatever you have. You can use some chopsticks or something, whatever works for you, just so you kind of have a handle to hold on to, and you can use that to help pull the floss. This actually kind of isn't working too well. Let me try and wrap this better. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and try pulling this now and see if we can cut the adhesive using the floss. All right. Yeah, I don't know. To me, this is harder than using the metal tool, but let's see. It's slowly coming out, I think. The floss is actually coming out more than the battery. So let's try like cutting it like this, kind of sawing at it. I don't know how well that's working. Maybe I should have got a longer piece of floss. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. This is, to me, is way harder. But I don't know. If it works for you, it works for you. It doesn't really work for me. Let me try with another toothbrush because this material is too slippery for the floss. So let's go ahead and grab this and roll that around. Other people suggested using like fishing line, right? Whatever works for you, whatever you got lying around. Oh man, it's unraveling itself. Let me see if I can get a better way to wrap this. Okay, let's wrap it all around itself, kind of crisscrossing. All right, let's see now. Yeah, I probably should have left more so I have more room to work with here. See, the floss just broke. So I don't know how people do it with floss, but they told me they can do it with floss. I'm going to try again. Maybe I'll use the newer floss and I'll use more floss. So let's try using quite a bit more. Okay, I feel like there's a huge waste of floss, but floss is cheap, I guess. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's try again. Got some floss stuck under there. It smells all minty. The other thing I'm a little worried is if the wax stays under there, it's a little bit harder to get the new adhesive to stick. But I guess we can clean that off with the rubbing alcohol. So let's go ahead and try and get that under as well. Okay. Come on, get under there. Okay. I don't know. People said to use floss, it works. So let's. To me, this is way more difficult. But I mean, if people got it to work, you gotta give it a try. It's so difficult to get this underneath here. I don't know if there's a special way people do it. There we go. Okay, got the floss under. This is some new floss here. The other thing is, I guess you can do this on your carpet so that you don't have your computer flopping all over the place. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this around here. Okay, probably don't need to wrap it too many times because last time it just ripped. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap this around here. And these toothbrushes I use to clean computers. They're not used for my teeth, okay? All right, so let's go ahead now and see what we can do. Can we somehow get this out? I don't know. I think it helps to have someone holding it down or to be doing this on the carpet. It's hard to do this while it's kind of up on a desk. So let me try doing it at an angle like this. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Okay, and let's see if I can do it down this angle. I might want to remove the trackpad anyways because the cable's kind of in my way here. But let's go ahead and see. Is it working? I don't know. There's too much slack actually. I got too much floss. Okay. And it just broke that floss too. So Okay, I don't know. I can't do it with floss. I'm not going to do it with floss. I just keep breaking floss, and I just wasted enough to floss my teeth like probably like 5-6 times. Yeah, that's a lot of floss. This is maybe like 4 or 5 times. Anyways, let's toss this floss idea. And let's go ahead and do it the other way. Again, other people said you can use fishing line. I don't have fishing line. I would assume fishing line would be better because it's a lot stronger. It could handle more pulling force. All right. But anyways, enough of that. Let's go ahead and remove the trackpad. Sorry about that. We're going to use the T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. And we're going to remove the 4 screws here. All right. And then, so 4 on each side. Go ahead and do that. Sorry, I didn't do the floss method good enough. Maybe you could also maybe you could also twist the floss together so you have two layers thick of it. Maybe I don't know if I want to try again. Yeah, I wasted enough floss. If someone attempts or does the floss method correctly or successfully, if you guys can make a video of that, because I'm really curious. I don't think I've seen a video of anyone doing the floss method, but I've heard people mention it. All right, I'm sure it's possible, but I don't know. I just find it more difficult. So we're going to remove the 2 screws down here now. Okay. So 10 screws total holding the trackpad in place. All right, sorry, I was lining up the screws. Once you get that done, we can go ahead and lift this up. What I'm doing is I'm opening up the laptop so that this can go in. All right, and you want to be careful not to get the cable snagged on anything. And we're going to carefully remove the trackpad because there are little rivets that can fall off. Okay, these rivets don't really hold on very tight, so if you set it down too rough, it can actually bounce off. So you want to be careful. I'm going to brush it a little carefully just to get any dust out from under here. Okay. Just very lightly brushing. Oh, see, I barely brushed and one of the little rivets came up and it looks like that. All right. And basically that came from down here. Okay. So there you can see how easy it is for those things to come off. All right. So I'm going to set this to the side carefully. All right, and now let's go ahead and work on getting the battery out. I'm going to go back to doing it the way I usually do it because I wasn't successful with the floss. So we're going to use this flat tool here. Okay, and what I do, I use this a lot for prying stuff, so you can see it's like a little crooked. Because of that, I'm going to do it so it's this way, so that way the part that's curved is actually going under the battery, not going into the battery. Okay, so you don't want it to scrape under the battery, you want it to scrape like this. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead and get this out. So I just get the tool in here. Okay, you do have to lift it slightly because there is a groove down there. And if you get caught in that groove, you won't be able to push the tool through. So let's go ahead and see if we can find out where, come on. It's going to, it keeps wanting to go in that groove. So let me see if we can go over from this side. Man, actually, this is tough too, so I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's try going from up here, this top edge, and see if we can get under. Wow, this is going to be tough. Apple's making this stuff tricky. Okay, so come on. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to pry it up. There we go. So we can get over that lump, and there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and cut the adhesive now. So what you do, you don't want to try and slide it sideways down. What I do is I pull it back out slightly, and then I adjust it, and then I push it back under, just like that. We're going to just continue doing this. Okay, oh, we're hitting that lump again. There we go. Okay, and we're just going to keep working our way down, just like this. Once I hit, I'll show you what I mean when I'm hitting that ledge where it kind of stops the tool, and then I kind of have to pry it up slightly. Okay. All right, there we go. Got it all out. There's the floss that just broke off earlier. Okay, so let me show you here. So what's happening is if you go, you actually hit this metal raised piece, so we have to lift it slightly and then get underneath there. So that's why I was kind of prying it up to get under there. Okay, we're going to do the same thing to this side. All right, get the tool here. And also, this isn't a knife. It's not sharp, all right? It's not a knife, but it is super thin and very flexible. So you want a tool like this. You don't want to use a knife and you want it to be flexible, all right? You can also use plastic, but it works a lot better. And since I work on so many, this tool is really good, all right? If you don't work on many, if you're just doing one, you can probably get by using a card or something. But for me, this works really well, okay? I'm left-handed, so it's a little difficult trying to do it at that awkward angle. So I'm turning it this way. And I'm also being careful not to grab the motherboard. I'm kind of arcing my hand, if you're wondering. Okay, so underneath there. Cut all of that up. All right, work our way down over to the other side. Continue. I'm basically just going to keep moving the tool down and cutting all the adhesive. And then once we're done with this, we need to get rid of the adhesive residue. We're going to use paper towel and isopropyl rubbing alcohol to do that. Okay? Get underneath there. All right. Go. Make sure we cut all the adhesive underneath. There we go. So we got those two out. Now for the middle part, which is a bit trickier just because there's this giant hole here from the trackpad. I don't know why, but they put all these holes under the trackpad. Okay. Oops, we do need to clean that up. So I'm going to use the toothbrush and clean that off. I'm going to hold the other battery packs in place so they don't just flop around. Clean that up. So much dust under here. Okay. And that kind of can prevent your trackpad from clicking. I've had some people where they'll say their trackpad, it's not making the vibration feel, and that would be why. Okay, so here you can see underneath. If you want, you can get the tool and you can go under this way and try and do it from this side. All right. It's a little bit tricky trying to show this on camera, but let's go ahead and try and do this. Okay, just like this to cut the adhesive. There we go. Okay, go ahead and move the tool over and continue cutting the adhesive through there. Okay. Alright, and we're just going to keep continuing to do that, going down the line until the battery pack comes up. Alright. Okay. Okay, almost there. All right, I think we got it all. If it doesn't come up, then you can go ahead and go under and continue scraping it up, but I think we got it. So we're gonna now lift up all three packs, slide it over to the left, and remove it just like that. So here you can see That's what the old battery pack looks like underneath. We're going to go ahead and set that aside. All right. Now what we got to do, we got to scrape off all this old adhesive here. Okay, it helps to use a plastic pry tool, but you can use whatever you want. So let's go ahead and try and get this adhesive up. All right, if you can, it's nice to be able to roll a bit, and then you can kind of grab this and peel it off. A lot of times this will just tear, but if you can, this is the easiest way, and it leaves the least residue afterwards. We will have to clean up a little bit with the rubbing alcohol, but as you can see, most of the adhesive comes off. Okay, mostly the initial starting part where we're peeling it up is where it all sticks. All right. Uh-oh. You can see it's not coming out too nicely here. Okay. Oh, let's peel this up. There we go. And I like to kind of scrape up this adhesive that's stuck there, the residue, so that way it's easier to clean off later with rubbing alcohol. Okay. Okay. All right. This part got several tears in the middle, so it's not going to peel up easily. Okay. All right. So got one side out. Oh, I gotta make sure my other customers aren't here. Okay. All right, I'm getting messages. They're gonna be here soon, so. Anyways, let's go ahead and peel up this one. Okay. Yeah. Come on, stay intact. There we go. Okay. All right, we're getting there. This one's going to be a pain. The one towards the start of the scraping is the most difficult because it gets all scraped up when trying to get it out, instead of going in between the layers. Okay. Yeah, that adhesive's going to be difficult to remove, all that residue. There's this piece of plastic here that got kind of peeled up. That doesn't need to be peeled up, so you can actually stick that back down. Okay, stick that back down. Okay. Let's continue scraping here. Slowly peel. There we go. You can see there's a little bit of residue left still, but not too much. All right, get up all the shredded up foam stuff. All right, now we got 3 more in the center here. All right, uh-oh, that part tore. Come on. That tore up. Okay. Didn't leave much residue, that's nice. Alright, let's peel this one up. Good. Okay. One more piece to peel up, and then we gotta clean off all the residue with rubbing alcohol and paper towels. Okay. Slowly peel it up. Oh, that's good, it's tearing. There we go. Uh-oh. Come on. Keeps tearing there. Alright. Scrape it up some more. Be careful not to put too much pressure. You don't want to damage the screen trying to scrape this stuff off. Okay, and we'll peel this up. And peel this up. There we go. All right, so we got all the foam stuff off, and now we got to clean off the residue with rubbing alcohol and paper towels. All right, let me respond to some customers, and I'll be back. All right, sorry about that. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue. Again, we're just going to use rubbing alcohol and some paper towels. I got some pieces of paper towel here. I'm just going to fold it up using some 91% rubbing alcohol. We're just going to get it on the paper towel. Depending how bad the residue is, you could even just put it directly onto it. And then we're just going to go ahead and rub the residue until it all goes away. All right, so just like this. Okay, I scraped up a lot of the residue to make it easier to come out and easier to dissolve. Hopefully you can see it's all just wiping off. This part's a little bit stuck. Okay, there we go. That one's already all clean, as you can see. I'm going to go over to this side. This one has a lot more residue, so it might be quite a bit more difficult to remove. The light residue does come out pretty easily, but then the heavier, thicker parts stick on quite a bit more. You can kind of scrape it up more if you want with the tool. If not, you can just keep cleaning it with more rubbing alcohol and just continue rubbing it, and eventually it will come out, as you can see here. Depending on the age of the residue, sometimes it can be harder to clean off, but other than that, I just got to put in the elbow grease and it will eventually all come out. All right. Alright, wasn't too bad. Let's go ahead and do the same with the center. Alright. This one, you can't put as much pressure on it because of the location. This part is stuck a bit, so let's try and scrape it off. Okay, and we'll clean that up. Go and clean this off. All right, there we go. Let's Get a little more rubbing alcohol on a clean part of the paper and just kind of wipe it up just to get any spare residue out. Same thing all the way around. And at the bottom down here. Okay, so let's go ahead and brush off whatever crumbs and stuff in here. And we'll use the air blower to kind of clean it up a bit more. Alright, there's some stuff, residue still there. So let's get another clean piece of paper towel and just wipe it up one more time. Okay, I'll use the dry one to make sure. Alright, looks good. Okay, so let's go ahead now and get the replacement battery. Zoom out a tiny bit here. Alright, and let's go ahead and replace it. So the replacement battery, it comes like this. There's a film on top, and then usually you got this stuff on the bottom protecting it. Sometimes it's a more solid piece. We're going to peel this off. Actually, let's go ahead and line this up first. Okay, you can go ahead and line this up. And because the cables on here are all bendable, it's not too bad. All right, let's pull this tab up slightly more to make it easier. Okay, and get this into place. All right, you can see you can kind of get this all aligned. All right, you want to make sure that this is going to fit over and this will fit over the other side. I'm going to roll this adhesive back to kind of make sure it lines up better. Bend that back down. Okay. All right, so it looks like everything lines up well. All right. This piece, as you can see, can move around quite a bit. And that's important because if this isn't lined up, then we're going to have to realign it. Okay, so the main one is the middle one. Let's go ahead and peel that up first. The other two you can kind of peel up while it's in place. So let's go ahead and peel this adhesive protector off. Okay, and now let's go ahead and get this lined up. Get those two tabs under there. Make sure the battery is all lined up. Okay, looks good. Everything into place, and then you can go ahead and push that down so it sticks into place. I'm going to take the T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. I'm going to get this screw in. Okay, we're just loosely fitting it for now. This piece, the little adhesive thing covered it again, so I need to push that out of the way. All right, we actually took it out completely. Let's get this screw. Put this in. Again, we're just loosely fitting this first. The important part is that you get this completely lined up. It's a little bit tricky. So what you do is you want to line that up. You want to check and then make sure it's centered. So you can see it's a little bit off center. And then there's the little one at the top there as well. It's a little difficult to do it at an angle, so I have to kind of tilt it for myself to see better. Okay. And then while you have it in the right place, you're going to go ahead and tighten the screw down. Hold that into place. Okay, and tighten the other screw down. All right, good. Let's go ahead and look at this again. I might actually have to move it down a little bit, but here you can see underneath, there's actually 3 gold contact points at the top. Okay. And those all have to touch underneath there. Okay, so I think it should be good. Let's zoom out. We don't want this thing down yet. All right, make sure that's all into place. Can kind of stick this piece back in. All right, so that's good. Let's zoom out some more. We're gonna now remove the adhesive holding underneath here. So we're gonna lift this up, and then we're gonna peel this thing, the bottom one out. Okay. All right, once you get that peeled out, you can set this down into place, stick that in. All right, and do the same thing with this one. The tab's over here, so kind of gotta work to get it. There we go. And we're just gonna let this go back down and stick that into place. Good. Right, once you've done that, we're gonna roll this adhesive back like this. You don't wanna pull it straight up because that could damage it. It looks like they put a sticker on top. I don't know why, but I mean, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and roll this and peel that off. There we go. Had a crumb or something get stuck under there. Okay. Get that crumb off. Okay. So there we go. Now we got the battery all lined up. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get the trackpad back into place. Okay, hopefully you didn't lose any of those little square and round rivets, or not rivets, washers. Okay, I opened up the screen slightly. We're gonna tuck this back through, just like this, and then slowly pull this up, get that into place, get the trackpad lined up as well. All right, now hold underneath to keep it held in place. We're gonna put the corner screws in first. Okay, so we'll put one screw up here. And we're just loosely fitting this. You don't want to tighten it all the way in yet. All right. And we'll get one screw down here. All right. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to just get this connector back in and lock that in. Okay, get it lined up. Push that into place. Good. All right, then we'll get the metal bracket to put back on top. Line it up. Get that screw. Loosely fit it first so that we can get both of them lined up. Second screw. Get that in. All right, and tighten that down. All right, now that both are tightened in place, you can actually go ahead and somewhat push this adhesive down, starting from up here and working your way over, just how I did it. All right, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna flip this over and we're gonna open up the screen. You'll see why in a bit. So here you can see the trackpad can move around quite a bit. So we wanna make sure that this thing is lined up and centered. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna get a piece of tape, or two pieces of tape. Right now I just have one, and what I'm doing is I'm just folding over the edges here so that we have little release tabs. I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm going to cut this tape in half here because we need two pieces. Okay, this actually came from the packaging of the screen of another computer I was working on. Alright, so here we go. We got that. So we're going to put the tape on one side, and we're going to use that to help guide and center this. Usually what helps is to pull it all the way to one side, and then once you do that, you can slide it over halfway. And then you can tape that down. Right, we're going to get the other side in. Okay, you want to look at it and make sure it's centered. If it's not centered, we're going to have to peel up the tape and then fix that again. But let me take a look. I have to look over from the top, so let me hold it up. Right, it's further down than it is up, so there's more of a gap here. So I'm going to peel this up slightly, and then we're going to adjust it slightly up, and then we're going to tape it back down. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. You want to make sure it's centered. Tape that back down. All right, let's take a look again, and it looks pretty centered. All right, it might be a little bit more to the left, so let's see if we can pull it over a tiny bit. Okay. All right, let's check it one more time. All right, I think that's centered. It might just be the lighting at this point. So there we go. Let's go ahead and close this up. Flip it over, and let's go ahead now and tighten in the screws for the trackpad. All right. Tighten that in and tighten that in. All right, now you got the two corners tightened in. We can go ahead and look at it one more time, make sure it looks centered. Okay, it really depends on the angle, because when the shadow is going more one way, so you kind of want to look at it left and right. Okay, and flip it over and then look at it the other way. That way you know for sure the shadows aren't the issue. Okay, I think it is slightly higher now, but from this angle it looks very centered, so I think it's good. All right, maybe a tiny bit further down, so let's loosen this a little. Open this up and align it a little more. All right, I'm going to pull it very slightly down. And this one very slightly down. Okay, let me double check again. It's that's gonna bug me forever. I don't think it can be. It's mostly the lighting, but let's go ahead and move it slightly up again. And slightly up again. All right. Oops. It's a very slight adjustment. And yeah, that looks centered now. Okay, so let's go ahead and close this up. And let's go ahead and tighten all the screws in. All right, we'll retighten this one, retighten this one, and let's go ahead now and get the rest of them in. We'll get this corner in. Once we get 4 corner screws in, then we can go ahead and just go in whatever order. I'm gonna get that one and this one. Is my customer waiting outside? Oh, I have another customer coming. All right, let's go ahead and get all these screws in. All right, that's good. That's good. That's good. Customer's outside, so I'm gonna have to bring them their computer first before I finish this. Let's go ahead and get all these screws in first real quick. All right, got 2 screws down here. All right, so we'll reconnect the battery and finish this when I get back. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so I'm back. Let's go ahead and get this thing back together. So battery connector here. Oh, I need to get a charger. I left my charger inside. But anyways, let's go ahead and get this connector back in. Okay, so now that screws in, the battery tab is connected. We're gonna now get this cable back in. It does have a slight curve to it. You can kind of roll it back out, but you don't wanna fold it backwards, all right? Because you don't wanna bend this cable and damage it. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get this cable into this slot. Okay. It's a little tough because I'm trying to make sure I'm getting a good angle for you guys to see. I don't know if I'm blocking it or not. Hopefully not. Okay. So you want to get, oops, I got it in and then it came back out. Get that in. All right. Now you want to make sure it's pushed in all the way. It will have a little bit of the gold showing, all right? But you do want to try and get it as far as it'll go. Then slide your finger over the top to latch it back down. I get a lot of people that after doing this repair, they say the battery's not being detected or not charging. And a lot of times it's because this cable's not connected right, or this isn't lined up properly. All right, anyways, let's get this back in as well. Okay, line that up. It's hard to make it so you guys can see. Because normally I do it like this, all right? There you go, but basically line it up. All right, you can see a little bit of the gold showing, and then slide your finger over the latch to lock it back down. Okay, then we're gonna get this little plastic tab. I like to line up this rubber piece or the adhesive piece with that screw, then roll it over, and then this kind of just runs along there, just like that. All right, good. Let's zoom back out. It's a little bit weird, crooked. Let me see if I can fix that. Okay, there we go. And now let's just get the bottom cover on and we're good to go. So the bottom cover, oh, we do want to do a PRAM and SMC reset if we can. All right, so this is what that looks like. We'll use this for a thumbnail. All right, let's get the bottom cover on. We're gonna slide it on. So the way you do that, you want to make sure the side edge is aligned properly. Okay. You get it, and then you can see it's like lined up right. Then slide that in while you're holding this down. Okay. All right. Once you get one side in slightly, we're going to go over to the other, hold that down, and then slide that up. Then we're going to go back over here and slide that up again. All right. Why isn't it lining up right? Hold on. I'm getting a call. I'll be back. All right. I'm back, and I forgot actually the or the moisture sensing sticker. So let's go ahead and open this back up actually. Okay, let's go ahead and take this back out. Man, now I gotta take this back off. Okay, I forgot this sticker that's on that battery screw. So let's go ahead and lift this back up. All right, and take that back out. And let's go ahead and put this little sticker back on there. Like that. All right, so I just put that little white sticker there, and we're gonna go ahead and put this back in. Make sure it's in all the way, slide that latch back over, and get this piece, line that up, flip that over, and take that down, and there we go. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and get the cover back on. Slide this up again. All right. Okay, I don't know why the left side is being a bit difficult to go in. Let's actually do the right hand side first. This thing like messed up or something? Okay, let's get the right hand side first. Okay, we do have to slide it, make sure it's lined up right. Okay, and then I didn't slide it back enough first. Okay, there we go. Get that lined up, push that in. Make sure it's pushed in, so we're kind of just going back and forth, left and right, like this. Right, make sure the edges on the sides are lined up, and then we can go ahead and click everything down. And now we just got to put back the pentalobe 1.2 or P5 screws back into place, and we're good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Then we'll do the PRAM and SMC reset, and that's it. All right, again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Other than that, you're welcome to stay. I'm going to do the PRAM and SMC reset. Make sure everything's okay. Let's see if this screw is actually going to even hold in. Yeah, this screw is kind of weird. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, and let's go ahead and do the reset. I do need to get a Mac charger, so let me do that and I'll be back. All right, see you guys in a bit. All right guys, so I'm back and we got the charger, so let's go ahead and flip this over and let's go ahead and plug it in and do an SMC and PRAM reset. So we're gonna peel this back off. Okay, plug this in and let's go ahead and do the PRAM or SMC reset. So Control Option Shift on the left side, power button, then we just give it a few seconds. All right, and then let's go ahead now and do the PRAM reset. So you power it up, Command Option P and R, hold those buttons down. You should see the screen come on and then shut back off if it's working right. Oops, it already booted. It's already booting itself. So we're gonna have to redo it. All right. And you feel the trackpad clicking, so that's good. All right. Let's wait till it boots. I don't know if it's booting recovery options or what, but we'll give it a bit. It's taking a while. Come on. Actually, we can try the SMC reset right now. Some models don't work with the SMC reset. Oh, it's already booting up. I can see the mouse cursor right now with this. You can see the spinning beach ball. Right? And yeah, we did go into recovery mode, as you can see. All right, let's try doing the SMC reset, control option shift, power button. Okay, so SMC reset does work on this model. All right, now we're going to do PRAM reset, powered on, command option P and R, hold that down. You should see the screen come on. You can also click the trackpad to feel it clicking. That's how you know the computer's turning on. All right. Normally you'll see the screen come on and then shut off, and that's how you know you're doing the PRAM reset properly. But if it's not coming on, we're probably just gonna assume it worked. Okay, so the screen came on. Is the PRAM reset not working on this model? Doesn't look like it's working. All right, we'll shut it off and we'll just turn it on normally then, and then we'll see. All right, I heard the charge sound come on, so that should be good. It should boot up normally. All right, you can see it's booting up. I'll move this out of the way in case it shows the user accounts. And yeah, it's showing 39%. We're gonna unplug it. You can see it's staying on, so we should be good to go. I'm gonna try the PRAM reset one more time, but if it doesn't work, we'll just consider it's not working. We'll try command option on this side, and let's try it again. Right, command option P and R. Yeah, I don't see the screen coming on or going off. It's just staying completely black. So maybe this model doesn't work with the PRAM reset. We'll give it a little bit longer. I see the Apple logo came on, but yeah, it doesn't look like it does the PRAM reset. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's drop this. Bye.